We survived the end of the world. Now what? Frostpunk 2. The old captain is dead. New London is weak. Food is low. Overpopulation looms. Coal is running out. People yearn for a future worth dreaming of. But is this the same future for all? Keep the city together. Or hold its hand on its deathbed. Chapter 1. Scraping the Barrel. Alright, so we're in worst case situation here. Coal is running out. The captain's dead as he weakened growing divisions brought the city maintenance to a grinding halt. Now New London is left to suffer the consequences. As a steward, it is your charge to lead, but you must prove yourself. The overcrowded city is low on resources. Use the warmer year to build more shelter, secure coal, and power the generator back on. Let's get to work. Alright, so hold on. So let's pause this first of all. Generator's disabled, so we do need housing, so that's going to be a situation. Let's go inside of our frost breaking idea here and see what we got. So we know there's going to be forest, so that's probably going to be for wood. We got some food up this way. We have materials, which we're going to need to build with, so we should probably start focusing on this as well. And what are you? Okay, so we got some coal, so let's do... So we get coal. Alright, so we'll break like that, come over to this side. Trying to get as much material as possible here, so we'll break you. We can go back inside the menu here. At the moment, we don't really have too many people that are stuck inside their houses, so we can sort of utilize a whole lot of extra research teams all at the same time. Interesting, so I guess that area is already broken? Alright, so we got those two up and running. Alright, so a lot of food. What are you? Alright, so we got docks. I'm guessing this is going to be a lot more of a consistent food source. Alright, so let's start just heading directly towards the dock as well. Alright, so we got everybody working for the most part. I don't really think that we need to necessarily try to branch off well, what are you actually? Fertile soil. Deep fertile soil, so is that okay? So that's going to be a major food stockpile, so let's actually do this. Because that's going to be our main food source for a while, so we'll definitely place the one down there, and I'm assuming that's going to have a decent amount of food as well. Alright, so let's go to 2 times speed, let all this stuff get destroyed. We're going to have to focus on coal first to be able to get the generator back up and running, so that's going to be our main center point here. Obviously, we're going to need workforces as well, and we're going to need food, so we basically just need everything. Alright, so now that that's done, let's go inside of our build menu here. We should have, let's see here, so that's prefabs. Which one? So your coal, 60k, 60k. So I mean, it's not the most. Let's see, produces material into prefabs or goods, can produce other resources with additional infrastructure. Okay, so that's a little bit different. Logistics division, sends trading expeditions to the Frostland. Okay, so we're going to need that for the docks. We're going to need this dude for the materials around the world. So for example, well, those all say prefabs, but one of these boxes says material instead, and that's what we need for that. All right, so coal, we're going to do an extraction node. Oh, is it that much bigger this time around? All right, well, hold on. So I know it's a little bit unorthodox, but I'm going to try to put 2 coal stations inside like the one node here and see if it just like works over time. So same with you guys, we should be able to place that on top of it. Actually, we should be able to test it here. So if we do like a extraction district, yeah, so it encompasses all 3 of those. So let's just break open all that. All right, so those still be broken. We're still paused, so we're good for that. Food. Well, now that we actually kind of understand this, I mean, that area is just ready to be built on, so we don't have to do anything with you. Those 2 already cracked open, so we can't do anything different with you. We have, what is this, a major food source? Yeah. So let's go and open up the major food source as well. Okay, so this like completely changed the way that we're going to play the game then. So obviously coal is going to be a major thing in this part of the world. So let's go and break that open. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. So we also open up a path towards the docking area. So let's go and do this too. All right, so now the dock's fully open. We have an iron vein. Ooh. So that must be what the other material's for. All right, so we got some food here, some soil. Now we are going to have to like open up the area here. So do something like that, and then we'll start working towards like the food in that zone. Obviously, these first days aren't necessarily about trying to survive as much as just getting everything prepared for what we actually need. See, so that's still breaking, so we can't do anything with you. I'm exposed to wind. Huh. So you can actually add some shelter here if you put like housing inside that zone, so that's good to know. Same with here. Plus 20% heat, so this is like a very good spot to do like a housing district, for example. All right, so now that we are kind of prepared, let's go and start the daytime. All right, so 2 times speed, we'll let all this stuff dig out and then we should be prepared. So I believe our facility is going to work double time instead of just having it like sit idle like we were doing. Greatly increased noble coal, greatly increased by fear of running out of coal. We'll be fine, men. All right, so let's see. So we got the coal nodes that are all open. So let's do an extraction district, right? Let's see here. Materials into prefabs or goods can produce other resources with additional infrastructure. So that's not important yet. So extraction. Actually get over to that one. Oh, so close to it. All right, you know what? Let's just open up that whole area there. I know we're sort of waiting on the coal, but I feel like that's our best solution. So let's go back inside of our build menu here. So our prefab is going to be another thing that we're going to need to focus on here. So that's just going to be materials. So that's where the industrial district comes into play. All right, so that's another materials. What about you? So it's all prefabs over here. So that, well, it's only 2 of them. All right, so our prefab is going to be found right next to us. So we can encompass all of those together in one unit. And that's going to be an essential function. All right, so you're good to go. Accessing deep deposits require a deep mining drill build, so we don't actually have the ability to get that far yet, so we have another fishing charterway also. Alright, so hold on, so let's just go and start opening up towards this route. Alright, Alright, so you're now open. Alright, so that's all materials. That'll be food. Alright, so we don't really need to do anything else. So we got some prefabs over here that we can place down our ruin at. But we don't want to block the coal mining though. Alright, so let's open up the back area here. That way we just have a little bit more room to operate. And then once we get that, we'll get the coal and the prefabs up and running. Our building will be done here in a second. Alright, so let's go back to 2x speed. I know that our men are having to, you know, survive in the cold. The city is losing heat fast. Will the steward manage? The captain is dead. The coal is gone. The generator's off. We are doomed. You are not doomed, men. We got this. Alright, so now we actually have access to the coal. Alright, so we have all of those in one spot. Alright, so that's going to take up our heat stamps, which is going to be used from our workers. So we're going to have to wait on the scraps, or we can sit there and force them to give us scraps. I don't think right now we have the best public relations for that, so we can't necessarily do that. Alright, so we're just going to have to let the day go. We'll get some coal, we'll get some morale up, we'll get some scraps here in a second, and we'll move on with our day. Oh, and it instantly adds like a road. Did you hear? The steward ordered us to set up a new extraction district in the canyon. I really like that road system. It's so cool. It like automatically builds a way to it. Okay. Now pray a whiteout doesn't collapse like the last time. So I know food's going to be another essential thing to survive the winter. Don't get me wrong, I feel like food's going to be a very important task, but at the same time, we need our coal. The thing is though, do we really... How much do you produce? Let's see here. 120. How much are we using to turn the city on? I think 120 should be good enough for now, so we might save off. Let's just collect some coal real quick and see what we actually need. Construct new housing districts to address the lack of shelter, so we're going to need a couple of those. Alright, so hold on. So let's go inside the build menu here. We have a housing district. Now, this is going to be good for heat. Same with you. Alright, so we get a district there going. That'll be one of the two housing districts that we need. We do have coal already supplied here. Let's see, plus 110 from the generator. So I think we're getting just enough to actually have that operate. Alright, so let's do another housing district. Let's go ahead and get the people a place to stay, because obviously we're going to need a lot more workforce compared to what we're used to. So that'll be two housing districts up and running. Should probably focus on food and a way to sustain. So I'm kind of surprised that we can't turn like the wood into a way to fuel the generator as well. But I guess that would be a little bit much considering the fact that we have so much of the forest around here. Alright, so we were going to want more of the prefabs. That's just a guarantee. So we're going to need more heat stamps. So once this gets to 50, we're going to build another building right here. That's going to get us the material we need to continue on. We'll get the prefabs up and running, and then we'll focus on food. Alright, so at the moment we are using up a lot of our material as well. Alright, so let's do extraction district. Alright, so that's 600 workforce, 40 heat stamp, 150 prefab. 600 workforce, 40 heat stamps, and 100 prefab, but it says it also processes materials into prefabs or goods. Okay, so it has to be materials. So we're physically going to have to do an extraction district here. So get that guy up and running.
Steward.
People gather around that generator tower as it wakes a thundering shudder and bestows heat on us yet again. This is the heart of the city, our last line of defense against the cold. Our first hope for a future, any future. Steward, there are a couple who say their first child, a daughter, was born at the exact moment the generator sprang to life again. They called her Lily May. They ask that you bless her. Give us hope back. Thanks to you, our child may have a future yet again. People are hopeful there is a future after all. May your life be warm and the wind spare your paths. Well, that's an unusual take. Usually they're just immediately trying to kill us. All right, so we'll wait for the housing to get done. That's going to be built here in a second. Do we have enough? So we're going to need 40 heat stamps again in order to build our industrial district, or should we focus on the food? I feel like food first and then we'll do materials. We don't have the materials for it. Alright, so we're just going to have to wait for you then. So we're going to need 50 of the boxes. And 40 of the coins. I think at the moment we have this is just it's saying that we're negative at the moment. So let's just do 2 times speed. Wait for you to get to 50 and then we'll try to place down either material or food gather. Good work, Steward. We have secured a new coal depot. It's part of the last vein in the New London. There are still some depots left, but they won't last long. We need to improve our mining use to use it efficiently. But the city communities are voicing different ideas about how to do it. We need to decide whose ideas are worth pursuing. We must choose a solution. Okay, so we have a research institute. Ooh, okay. So that's going to be found inside of this tab. It looks like there's also an extraction area too. $100 heat stamps. That's going to be on the back. Do you want it on the back burner or should you just go and build it? I feel like getting material and getting food is more important and then you focus on research afterwards. Alright, so hold on. So let's do... I mean, that needs material. This demands material to work, but we don't actually need it to build. Wait, what? Okay, I was not expecting that. So I guess you just build this guy wherever and he's able to take the material that they gather and turn it into something else. So it's an extraction district we need. Interesting, okay. I think that's the most efficient route. Hold on. There we go. So we'll confirm you. Then next up we're going to need, I believe it's 50 again for the food. 40, sorry. So once we get to 40 on this little coin up here, we'll be good. Now is that saying we're using? So requirements 170 and we're only gathering 110 per day. 46 is registered as 6, so that's not good. Alright, so we're definitely going to need more coal as well. But we gotta focus on food first. We don't want to run out of our stockpiles. It is slowly getting colder. Alright, so build food district. Oh, just out of reach. I don't think there's a way to do it in one run at least, so we'll just gather these 3 at the same time, and then we'll push out forward to the right there. Alright, so we got food going. Now you are going to be the... Oh, heating hub. I forgot these existed. Okay. So it is going to be like the first Frostpunk. It's just the tutorial was a little bit different. We have more materials over here that we can gather eventually as well. So next up on our list is going to be to get more on the coal mining side of things. So it's going to be like little coins that we're looking for. I believe that is our last depot though. Rear base for exploration efforts. Build a logistics division here to access the Frostland. Alright, so we can open up the area behind us. Hold on. Actually, both of these areas need to open up anyways. So I'm not sure if having like both of these guys right next to each other actually like works better or not. Alright, so they're going to be fully busy, so let's go back to 2 times speed. So I know research is also going to be an essential part of the game, but we have to find a way to survive before we worry about really trying to research too much stuff. It's good to have you back, old chap. It was terrible freight to have you switched off. You're more than just a heat source to us, you know. To us, you're a symbol of what we should be, unbending, unyielding fortitude. May we all stand so bold against the frost. The Generals are revered and respected by the stalwarts. Alright, so that's at 35. We need 40 for you. So we're getting pretty close. I don't think we're going to be able to build all the way over here. So that's 60, 60, or either. Alright, so both of you are 60 as well. So we can't really do much with that. Although we could do this 3 and then maybe build off of you. I wonder if that would work. Hold on. So could I do these 2 and then I cannot. Alright, so they'll get like a little bit of a heat bonus at least, so I mean that's kind of good for efficiency. Yeah, we'll just have to confirm that. Building slot empty. No, no, it's gathering wood, okay. I guess they always say building slot empty. That must be for like the research to come into play to actually have like an improved version of it. Let's see, so I mean we do have a few different areas. We are eventually going to have to expand outwards, but I think we need to focus on getting buildings inside of our main area here, and then we'll worry about expanding outwards. Obviously, we need to expand an existing housing district and build a research institute, research an idea for new coal mines, construct newly researched building in the extraction district. Alright, so it's really pushing us to get to this research institute going. So we need heat stamps. Facilitate dedicated to coming up with technology and social solutions to large-scale problems. Unlocks the idea tree, each institute improves research speed. Alright, so we're going to need 100 heat stamps. So that's just going to be slowly moving around here. Actually, hold on. Have I not actually built the food district yet? Did I? Oh yeah, because we had this one. It's just we couldn't expand all the way over here. So I mean, that technically is 6, so we might be able to go all the way from here. I think this is going to be a little bit shy. Alright, so we'll break that open. Alright, so we're minus 40 food. a day. Our stockpile is slowly going down though, so we're definitely going to focus on food. Yeah, literally right there. Alright, so we'll just have to do it like that. That's going to slowly work. District employment. District employment can be manually controlled in the district. Oh, yeah. I mean, technically we could be working overtime for our gatherers here. So right now we are losing a ton of materials. We have, our goods are limited, our food is also limited, and our housing is unfulfilled. Alright, so this guy's going to need 100, but at least if we get the food positive, I don't think our people are going to like starve to death immediately. We do have shelter technically for a lot of our housing units, so I mean that is keeping them alive technically. Alright, so wait for you to get built, and that's going to increase our food supply. It should be just enough to at least get us positive or a little bit closer. We have another winter storm coming in a few weeks, so we are going to have to worry about that. Alright, our food is now positive. That's a good sign. So now we can sort of take a little bit of a breath. So... oh wow, this map's big. So the materials, we're losing 150 a day. Housing, we're going to need to improve. Once we get our research up, we'll be able to build the better housing, and I think that's going to improve their quality of life quite a bit. And that should prevent people from dying. So we're just going to have to hold out just a little bit longer. Technically, you know, we could tell people to that we need a little bit extra cash. Alright, so 400 workforce. So this is where you sort of have to like borrow a few of them. So at the moment we have what? 433. Drop you down. We're going to need to at least break open this area anyways to improve our housing. I'm not entirely sure why I couldn't build the district there though, so hold on. So let's... we don't have too much workforce, so we're just going to have to continue the day. We could get more materials up and running, but let's just focus on what we got here. The cold season, heat demand is increased. Due to the cold summer, people have froze to death. We are at least surviving a little bit.
Are you listening?
Stuart, a cold wave has taken the lives of the city. People were found frozen not only in the open streets, but in some houses and workplaces as well. They are sick with grief and anger. People fear the horror of years past will return under your leadership. They want the council to ensure laws can help with fighting the crisis. Reassure them with be prudent. People will continue to freeze to death until the cold is brought down. Trust falls. I see. We will do what we can. Alright, so that's opened up. So 385, so we're gonna have to drop once again. We don't really want to pull from the coal district or the food district. I mean, technically we're plus 12 right now, so hold on. 505. Can we build the Research Institute? Okay, so basically we're going to click on a Research Institute and we have to find an empty space inside of our district. Alright, so with that in mind, I feel like the reason why it's giving us issues is because we didn't have enough housing technically, and that's why every single spot is fully taken. Alright, so we got those three. Ooh, near extraction district. Okay, so that technically should... okay, so there's a little bit of issues there. So we'll see if building the houses there, technically we're minus 28 homes, so hopefully that actually solves that issue. And then we can build the research facility. Alright guys, we're going to end it here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.